Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League here at Atlanta Motor Speedway on the Tabletop Trio Network. I am Bob, and joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. And Joe, it's a doubleheader here at Atlanta, super speedway style racing. This is going to get wild in a hurry tonight.
Absolutely. Like the sunscreen car, the number 32 says, it's going to be a little hot. Going to need some sunscreen.
That is for sure. It's hot out there. It's, well, the air temperature is only 74 degrees, but the track temperature right now over 100, as you see there on your screen. And that just means that it's going to be slick, not a whole lot of grip. And these cars are going to be sliding all over the high banks here at Atlanta tonight. And it's going to be crazy. This tire wear is going to be important tonight. You know, brand new track, obviously, new repave, but those tires do not like this racing surface for whatever reason. And because of that, track position is also going to be important. We were talking with a couple of drivers, Joe, earlier in the race, or earlier before we went on air, and they were basically saying that there's going to be two lines, a middle bottom or a middle top. And the top side is really going to try to pinch the lower side down, dump as much air on them as possible, and side drafting and really kind of slow them down.
Should be fun.
And on top of that as well, you got to watch out for the big one. Anytime anyone comes to these restrictor plate drafting style racetracks, the draft is huge. They're all in one big pack. One wrong move, you're going to take out half the field at least. So it's going to be quite interesting as this race goes on, just to see, you know, what exactly is going to happen. Taking a look at some of the drivers to watch for tonight. Jamar Dumas so far fastest in practice. As you see on the left-hand side of your screen, threw up a 30.15. Jeff Price in the 39, just a little bit further behind him. All these times obviously are here in the draft. Drivers just getting their final little touches on to get themselves practice up. There is Shane Ewing in the 32. And the 44 of Danny White just behind him. John Daniels trying to sneak in with the draft. He might be on a bit of a heater right now, is John Daniels. You want to have a little bit of a gap coming around to really get that good lap in, because that draft is going to pull you along, get you caught back up. Let's see what this lap looks like for John as he'll come across the line. That moves him up to P5. Picked up a couple of tenths there. And Joe, I think that the easiest way to describe what side drafting feels like in real life is, you know, think you're driving down the highway and a semi comes flying by you on the side, and you almost feel like your car slows down when the semi passes you. That's what side drafting is. That semi basically is taking all the air that's on the front of that truck, dumping it off of it and putting it in front of your car, and it's the air resistance quite literally slowing you down. And that's what these drivers are going to be doing all race long with that side draft, just kind of getting in as close as they can, you know, kind of squeezing in and then trying to pull off as soon as they can, just to kind of take that air that they have and throw it on the car next to them, just to kind of drag that inside or outside line back. And if you're on the top side, you're going to have to do that all race long just to keep it side by side. So very,
lots of gas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And one thing they were talking about before the race is for a race like this, you're not going to really see a lot of fuel strategy. This is all about tires. They said you can more likely than not do this entire race, only a 60-lap race. You can probably do this whole race on a single tank of fuel, so you don't really need to pit. However, should a yellow come out, anything crazy, anything goes. We could see 4 tires. We might even see 2 tires. No tires, though, is definitely not the way to go. In the chat over on YouTube, Johnny Williams says, good luck all. Hello to the booth. Hello, Johnny. Speedy recovery for you. And while they're going through and getting some practice in, let's see if we can pull someone into this broadcast booth and see what they're thinking. Let's see if we can pull Jamar up into this booth and see what he has to say. Just for a couple minutes. He and John Daniels come together.
Well, maybe we wait a second to clear out his.
We'll get the dump button ready. All right, I think that's been cleared enough. They might be doing their meeting right now, but you know what? Let's pull Jamar in anyway. See what he has to say. Hey, Jamar, it's Bob and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you looking right now? Looking pretty fast out there. Top time in practice so far. How do you think this one's going to go?
With the smaller field tonight. Hold on, Garrett's talking real quick.
Oh, well, we'll let you get back out there, and we'll wish you good luck for the rest of the night.
Yeah, man, smaller field. It's going to be quick tonight. I don't think there'll be any caution, so thanks for the good luck.
Awesome. Good luck out there, man. All right, that is, that's the the trials and tribulations of doing a live broadcast with a with in-race admin and going over the rules. Always super important to do, especially here at Atlanta, because if you take a look, we'll jump on board here with Jamar as he comes down onto pit road. Great job getting it slowed down. It's twice as difficult when they are under their full speed.
Yeah, it always is like, oh, racing is easy. You're just going straight, and then you're like, yeah, I want to see you pull off of a bank doing a buck 40, buck 50, then hit a flat because it goes from bank to flat, and then get down to 50, don't lose control, and get into the pits.
Yeah.
It's like, you're hitting that wall.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, if you've never done it before, and here you go, you have a one chance, you're probably hitting the wall.
Exactly. And that's one of those things where it's, it's so hard to do when you're in a pack. Let's follow Cannizzaro down here. Oh, man, I don't think he was under pit road speed. Here's Shane Ewing coming through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he can make it. If he's going to be heading down pit road, he's not. But if you look at that giant apron to the left-hand side of the screen, that very well could be no man's land. It depends on how the race officials are going to be calling it, because that's the apron of the racetrack. That's not the racing surface. Odds are you're not going to be allowed to make a move down there unless you're trying to avoid a crash. So, that is going to be another factor where maybe we'll see someone try to make a move, but they're going to get penalized if they do. But as we say that, we're going to move ourselves over into qualifying, and it's group qualifying here tonight.
And that means
everyone is out on the track at the exact same time.
Oh boy.
So just pure chaos as always. And, we're going to see a lot of it where these drivers, if they get a push or any sort of contact with the wall or another car, that's not going to count. They're going to have that qualifying time disallowed. But I think they're going to be sitting here playing a little game of race car chicken. As you see everyone parked there. Looks like Jason Schue is going to go. There goes a couple other drivers, Jonathan Gaston as well.
So what are the benefits of not going first?
So if you're the first car, you are hitting all of the air. It's, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like belly flopping into the water. You know, you're hitting that air with all of your car. Whereas if you're the second car or the third car in line, you may still be doing the high dive, but it's you're following someone in, so that water's already kind of, the water tension's already broken. It's a little easier to slide through the water, and you're kind of not hitting the water as hard as you would if you're belly flopping. Which, you know, less air resistance means more speed. More speed means you're faster, shorter lap time. Therefore, you're up towards the front. So you don't really want to be the first guy. You kind of want to be the second guy or third guy with a big trail. And right now, Cannizzaro is probably going to be that guy.
Gotcha.
So as we see, Cannizzaro is that guy. And look at that, a 0.6 of a second difference when both he and the three of Schue left pit road at the exact same time. That's where that draft really comes in handy.
Ewing and DeBarro with the exact same lap times again.
Shocker there. Those two are also hooked up right now with one another. Right on the back bumper. Dumas at the point. Now it's DeBarro with a 30.4. John Daniels coming along. That time much slower. 31.5. Here are two of the Dizzy Motorsports guys. No change in the top 5 for those two. So far, looks like only 7 drivers out there to put in a qualifying time so far. Gaston and Dumas looking to team up. They have Jason Schue to contend with on the top side. Gaston goes P4. And he's going to park it on the side.
We'll just call that good enough.
Yeah, looks like that might be the case. Just about a minute left. If these drivers want to take another attempt, I mean, if I'm Gaston and I want to go one more time, I'm probably just going to jump to the pits now and try to take a second lap.
Yeah, the laps are like 30, 31 seconds, it seems, so as long as you get a pit in real quick.
Yeah, and you're going to need to take that 30 seconds to get around to take the green flag. But I don't think if anyone's leaving right now, they'll barely be able to make it. They've probably got about 5 seconds until that window closes, and now there's no shot. So anyone on pit road, not going to get that final lap in. Ewing and DeBarro both go. Oh my goodness. Ewing takes it over DeBarro by 1/100th of a second. Dubs over on Twitch says, I zoom. And that'll do it for the qualifying time. Whole pack of cars coming across the line. Jamar Dumas. Cannizzaro goes front. Wow.
Yeah.
30.14.
Well, Gaston and Daniels, they're going to have to split for the, 1,000th of a second? See who's going first.
Looks like Gaston will be starting in front of Daniels for race number 1. Mind you, this is a doubleheader, so we'll have 2 races out tonight.
Oh, yeah, he got him beat by 0.003 seconds.
Wow. Absolutely incredible. And it's, you know, that just goes to show how talented these drivers are, that they're this close in time. And yeah, it's a super speedway. I understand, you know, you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna have those, you know, too much of a lap disparity or lap change, but
That says
you know.
If I was running this, I'd probably be at like 37 seconds. And that'd be my good lap.
You know what? That's fair. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race. It's doubleheader here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. On pole is the number 77 of John Cannizzaro. Second place has Shane Ewing. Anthony DeBarro and Jamar Dumas round up row number 2. Jonathan Gaston, John Daniels, row 3. Jason Schue, Jeff Price in row number 4. Max Coast and Toby Ritters in row 5. Row 6 has Ace House as well as Garrett Gleason. Adam Stewart and Danny White make out the 14 starters for tonight's race. This is going to be a fun one, Joe. 60 laps here at Atlanta.
Yeah, I could. This is going to go as I feel like have been saying every week. It's either going to be real quiet, nice green flag race, or it's going to be utter chaos.
And you know me, I am always for team chaos, but we'll see how this one goes here. 2 races here tonight, all on one stream. So if you're watching for both races, make sure you stay here. Tabletop Trio.
Yes,
Give some support to these guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, like the video, share, and all the fun YouTuber and Twitch streamer stuff.
I always fun with these guys.
And as we say that, pace car pulls off. Field in the hands of Cannizzaro. Green flag in the air. We're rolling here at Atlanta. Good, clean start for these drivers as Cannizzaro's on the loud pedal and falling back in a little bit more of a slide than anticipated is the 32 of Shane Ewing.
Yeah.
DeBarro takes a look to the outside of Cannizzaro. They're side by side. Here comes Gaston. He thinks about throwing it 3 wide. Doesn't.
Smart.
Yeah, definitely definitely a low percentage opportunity there as the inside line is getting real tight up on one another. There's Jason Schue up in the mix. Great to see him up front. Same with Gaston. There comes Ewing. He's thinking about looking to the outside. Oh, the 0-2 Daniels in the wall. Daniels looks like he's got some front end damage. Not entirely sure what had happened there. Let's take a quick look and see what happened on the Tabletop Trio replay. So there's Daniels there on the top of your screen in the yellow and black car. He got a big run, just kind of got sucked up into the wall.
Yeah, tapped it a few times, yeah. Oh.
And oh, as we say that, we're in trouble. Big wreck. There's the 32 of Shane Ewing. He's around and pointed the wrong way. Jamar Dumas involved as well. Well, let's take a look at what had happened there. As Ewing came up, almost got into DeBarro, and unfortunately, Jamar Dumas was there. Big lockup from Garrett Gleason. I don't think Gleason got a piece of that.
No, I think that was just a little sideways, but I think he was able to recover it.
Let's take a look here. We're gonna get the replay going. And yeah, let's take a look on board here with Garrett Gleason. So take a look at that gaggle of cars right towards the top of your screen. They're 3 wide. Little touch right there. They're sliding. And that's where Gleason just puts on the brakes, makes sure everyone's good. Dumas there sliding. And he keeps that Coleman's Care machine in a straight line going the right direction. So here's Ewing heading down pit road.
I wonder how much damage he has. He had a good hit.
Yeah, it's, oh man, look at that damage. The left front is caved in pretty hard. Dumas has a bunch of damage on both sides of his car. Let's take a look, see if we can get the drone camera out.
Yeah, it looks like
and take
White
a look.
is
Yeah,
out.
there is a bunch of damage. Yeah, Danny White, I think, has taken it to the garage. Jamar Dumas with a ton of front end damage.
Yeah.
As
Was
is
White
Daniels.
was White who took who ended up just taking a hood right into the side of the car? Was that what that was?
You know what? I think that might be. Let's take a look here, because I think you might be absolutely right. I did see a car get pretty airborne, but I wasn't sure if that was Dumas or who that was that caught him. You know, I don't even think that was crash related.
Really?
Because I'm not seeing him there. And yeah, it looks like he just jumped to the pits, so I don't think that was crash related for White. So under yellow here for the first time tonight, 6 laps into this one. As we see the field crawling around, really crawling relatively. They're going highway speeds here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going slow. They're doing 55.
Still crawling in race perspective for sure.
I can only imagine bringing my little Nissan onto this thing and then just trying to go as full speed. I could probably just put my foot down and I'd probably be able to just bank it, just not have to take my foot off the gas.
Yeah, either that or it just fall off the banking.
Yeah,
whatever happens
not
first.
enough. It just slides down.
I do love seeing those videos where teams will go to tracks like Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, and put like a bowling ball or a watermelon and let it roll down the banking just to show how steep it is. Does nothing scientifically, but damn, is it not satisfying to watch someone smash a watermelon down a racetrack banking.
Yeah, says you. That's scientific.
Well, I mean, the watermelon man himself, Ross Chastain, he won last night and smashed his victory watermelon on the start-finish line.
Which
sounds like he's missing him, but it's not.
Yeah. Not with that kind of attitude. We have the Ace fan club in the house.
Oh yeah,
over
look at
in the
that.
YouTube chat.
Looks like Cody777. Can we get a Go Ace house in the chat? Ryan Newman fan in there saying Go Ace. Hey, I mean, right now he's in 6th. He's right there on the door. In that all black machine.
Looks great.
Oh yeah. There are some slick looking paint schemes here.
Yeah, I know we say it every week, but these guys like to change up their paint a little bit, and they always look great. So it's always nice to see what they're going to come out wearing, so to speak.
That is for sure. Love the quote there. Life's hard. It's harder if you're stupid. Can confirm. We got some side-by-side action for the lead. Look at this. Good old number 3 machine right at the front of the field. Getting some help there from Canizaro in the background. Go ahead, Joe.
with all his damage and everything else, just right back up to the front.
Yeah, look at that. Daniel's sliding right there. Schue goes down to block. Gaston the only one on the outside. He's got Daniels now. This is getting intense. Do they not realize there's 50 laps to go? That's what I want to know. We'll jump on board here. This is the view. They're side by side.
Well, now is the leader getting points in this race for laps?
Yeah, so there are bonus points here for leading laps. We'll take a look at the point standings here right now. But the way the point structure works is you get 5 points if you lead a lap, 5 points for leading the most laps, and another 5 points for qualifying on the pole. So, and, you know, the point standings, this is a very important race. It's a doubleheader. Tim Johnston not racing here tonight. But he's got a 138-point lead over Philip Scott, who's also not racing tonight. But for Philip, he's out in Las Vegas competing on American Ninja Warrior, which is so awesome.
Yeah, so yeah.
So, Philip, wishing you all the best. Good luck out there, buddy. Chris Cabot also not racing tonight. So John Daniels is definitely the driver that has the absolute most to gain here tonight.
Yeah.
DeBarro racing, but he was caught up in that wreck earlier in the race. Shane Ewing is here, Jonathan Gaston, and so on. So this is very important points-wise for these guys, because there's a lot of ground that can be made up because the top 4 aren't racing tonight, or top 3 rather are not here.
Yeah. That can change a lot. Man, we just got a nice... It's a tight pack. They are just moving along smoothly, but I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. Because you never know what could happen.
Yeah. And this is looking like one of those races where I don't know if there's going to be any of those. The leader is catching up to the last person. It looks like we are firmly grouped.
Yeah, and you can see here, there's really no need for a track map at the moment, because that's the whole field right there, all on top of each other, which honestly makes for some fantastic racing. If you get hooked up in the back, you guys can go to the front fairly quickly. And the only time we're really going to see anyone fall off the pace or anything like that here would be if there's a car that has a lot of damage, they lose the draft. So, I mean, if I'm the 02 or the 28, I'm sitting there saying, guys, I do not want to lose the draft. I just need to go forward. The best place for me is up front because I have that much damage.
Yeah.
As, Canizaro looking high.
A little love tap on the wall.
Yeah, a little scrape. He's going to lose a bit of momentum, but he should be okay as Coast gets into the back of him, and he's going to pick him up. There goes Stewart looking to the inside as well. I was talking a little bit with Adam earlier before the race, and he was just saying, hey, do you have any advice? What do you have going on? And I told him my biggest piece of advice for him, hang out towards the back. Just ride, log laps, wait until after the last pit stop. If there's a yellow that's late, then you want to start making your move, because if they wreck in front, it's going to give you plenty of time to slow down, plenty of time to watch out, just like how we saw with Garrett in that first wreck, where, you know, if you see the wreck, just back off. So what?
Yeah.
You lose a spot, they crash, they have damaged cars, you don't, you're going to get around them. As looks like the 72 might have scraped the wall a tiny bit there.
That's much better advice than what I would have given, which is the gas pedal's the long one, the wall is not your friend.
That would be, you know what? Honestly, there are some guys that take that advice to heart and do exactly that. So you're not wrong.
To me with go-karts. You see that little red one? Don't touch the little red one.
They have bumpers for a reason. So we're about a third of the way into this one. Good race going so far for these guys. All drivers still involved and still running, save for the 44 of Danny White.
And Cost has made up some time. He was 1.7 seconds in the back, now only 1 second behind. So the pack is getting tighter.
Yes. And not only that, as we do see Danny White there back on track. 4 laps down, so had some connection issues, it looks like. You know, the field is doing some pretty decent lap times. They all just ran 31.6s this last time by. Oh, Gaston caught the wall a little bit there.
I feel like that's been the biggest mover of position, is just you give it a little tap to that wall, you lose 4 positions, but you recover and you kind of work your way back up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the almost escalator-esque way this race is. You get to the front, maybe you scrape the wall, you fall back, you work your way back up. And speaking of guys working their way back up, Toby Ritters started in 10th, currently leading the field now. So he's having himself a pretty dang good day thus far. Third of the way into this one. Thought about running the high line. He blocks, drops down low. Looked like the O2 might have scraped the wall there.
He hit the brakes a little hard on that one. I saw his tail end get a little wiggly.
Never a good thing when the car gets wiggly at 180 miles an hour.
No, especially when you see a bend up ahead. That's usually the last time you want the car to stop responding to what you want the wheel to do.
That is for sure. Here comes Jason Schue taking a peek to the inside, not able to get any momentum. He's going to get a good push there from Ewing. Ritters is going to go down, think about blocking. He does. And here comes DeBarro, putting his name back into this mix. DeBarro involved in that wreck through no fault of his own. Back on lap 4.
I think when we were talking to him during practice, he said he's usually in the wrong place in the wrong time. And, yep.
That is for sure. Another guy who's always seems to be snake bit is this guy right here, the 28 of Jamar Dumas, where no matter what happens, something happens to him that he has zero control over. Kind of like the incident we saw just a couple of laps ago, where the 32 got loose, almost got into his teammate, came down, and unfortunately Dumas was just there. I've seen races where Dumas would lead a ton of laps, got the pole, really managed and controlled the race, and then all of a sudden he's flipped around, turned upside down, landing on someone else's roof. Hopefully, though, for him, not tonight, as he's having himself a good recovery. Currently running P2 behind the 03 of Ritters.
Can we just real quick shout out what I just, after I don't even know how many races, realized? Is that Shane Ewing has the number 32 in the back of his car is Ounce Cola, and I just put 2 and 2 together. It's fantastic.
You know what? I'm proud of you.
Sometimes the few brain cells I have left, they fire on all cylinders.
Right on board here with the 4 of Adam Stewart. Caught the apron just a little bit. But this really gives you a pretty good sense of speed to see what these drivers are seeing. Oh, little bump into the 3 of Jason Schue. Had to back out of it a little bit. I love this low shot just to see everything that's going on.
Yeah. It's when you realize how fast they're going and how close they are to each other is where it gets a little terrifying.
A little scary, a little dicey. Oh, the
Oh.
O2 scraps the wall again.
I don't know if that was all his fault.
Scrape.
I think he got a little help on that one.
Yeah, let's jump in the replay to see what happened to the that O2 machine. Let's see, here's the O2 coming out down the front straightaway. We'll put it in slow-mo. And yeah, just got a little too hot into the corner. It is so hard to control the car through the, through how tight that section is.
And that we have to contend with. How's the temperatures looking over here?
So track temp has gone down about 8 degrees since the start of the race. Started right around 100, 101. Dropped down to 92 right now. So they are going to slowly start picking up a little bit of grip. And as the sun sets, right now it's 5:30 in sim. So as that sun sets, temps are going to go down. Grip is going to go up.
Which is always good news for the drivers.
Yes.
Maybe not so much for the fans, but what are you going to do?
Well, hey, even the fans are happy. It's a little cooler. Not going to be sitting in the sun baking.
And the concessions will be sad that they can't sell as much beer.
That's the beauty of NASCAR. You could just bring your own.
That is fair.
So good side-by-side pack battle going on. Cannizzaro trying to force the issue in front of Dumas. That checks everyone else up. Here comes Jeff Price. They're 3 wide for the lead. Price trying to shoot the middle. He's got clear of Ritters. And now here comes Anthony DeBarra. Where did he come from? Price runs the high side. DeBarra all the way on the extreme bottom. DeBarra slides up in front of Price. A little bit of a tap there. DeBarra's going to go high. Here comes Price with Cannizzaro down low. Now they're swapping positions.
It's like that, that puzzle game where there's like, it's a 9-piece puzzle. 8 pieces are in there. There's only one free spot. That's currently what we're doing for first.
Yeah, just trying to slide around, slot in, see what fits where.
So one car move up, one car moves down, one car moves over again, and we're just rotating first place right now.
And at this point, there is no clear spot. There's just 9 drivers going for 8 spaces. This is definitely heating up. I don't know how these guys are going to be able to do this for the next 25 laps.
Yeah, or what's going to look like at the finish when they're all trying to get to that one spot.
There goes Ritters trying to take a peek to the inside.
Ooh, real close.
Did catch the apron there, so that could be under review. Guys still holding strong. Ritter's up front. He's got Jeff Price all over his back bumper. Jump on board here with Daniels. You see a little bit of damage on the 3. However, that's not really going to affect him all too much.
Yeah.
Schue thought about going to the high side. But I'm very similar to Jason's driving style. I'm more of a bottom feeder myself. I prefer to be down low. Much easier to avoid the wreck down there.
I would be the wreck. I'm the problem.
There goes Ace House
Oop.
sliding up. Might have grabbed the wall a little bit.
Yeah, I saw a couple sparks.
So House is going to fall back to right around 11th. Jamar Dumas back to 10th. Here comes Coast to the inside.
And Ewing has snuck his way into the top four.
Man, I don't know where he came from.
He moved very slowly but surely up the pack.
And that has always kind of been Ewing's MO. He's always sneaky, quiet, good when it comes to a lot of these races. He may not be there at the beginning, but he's sure as hell going to be there at the end. And that's just kind of his driving style. Very clean, very hard racer. As everyone just kind of minding their P's and Q's here. Although they are still pretty hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, which is shocking, but now I remember there's still 21 to go. I'm assuming their P's and Q's will be thrown out the window with 3 left.
Oh, yeah. So alongside a couple other letters that you can't say on TV. But out front, it's the DeBarro and Ritter's battle. DeBarro has it. Ritter's leading the field on the inside. He's got some help from Jason Schue. Can't quite get anything going there. He's going to have a bit of a run down into the backstretch, but that high line is much better put together. So they should still have the advantage. And like we had said, that middle line is kind of your go-to when it comes to, where you want to be on track. Is, you're going to want to side draft as here's the 03 sliding up to try to pull the inside line down.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you're following the path that iRacing wants you to pull, they want you to start high and stay low into the turns, then stay mid to low through the finish line, mid to low through the turns, and then high again during that long straightaway. So these racers are kind of, since they're too wide, are kind of going back and forth on what the best line would be if you were going by iRacing or like your other sims like Gran Turismos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and typically the inside line here at Super Speedway style racing, Atlanta's kind of technically a super speedway in the way it races, but not as far as distance is concerned. Since you're flat out, you want to be on the inside line the entire time, all the way around, just because it's the shortest way around the track. If you want to carry a little more momentum, yeah, you enter high, go low, exit back high. But when you're here and everyone's going the same speed, you want to try to get to the inside as best as you can. As we see DeBarro cross over Ritter's. Now DeBarro takes a look to the inside. I expect his Dizzy Motorsports teammate in the 32 to kind of join him down low.
Yeah.
And he does.
Cost is right there at 7, and he started this race last.
And honestly, Joe, I think it's wild that, they're able to do that. Start all the way in the back of the pack, move your way up through the field. And yeah, he may be in 7th right now, but he's just spitting distance from leading.
Yeah, I was going
to say, little contact, they scatter.
And that rearranges who's around. I was just going to say, anything can move them.
And there it was. They're 3 wide for second. Ritters is going to have to choose carefully who he's going to want to be in front of.
Oh, that was almost bad.
Little block there. Ewing had to get out of the gas.
Schue and Canonzaro almost had a real bad time. They got real close.
Things are getting tight here in Atlanta. 14 laps remaining. In chat, some sad news. Johnny Williams says, R.I.P. Pete Rose. ESPN is reporting that Pete Rose has passed away at the age of 83.
Oh yeah, that's a good long.
That is for sure. Meanwhile, back to racing action. This is just I don't even know what to say. This racing is so frantic.
Yeah. I'm a little worried for this end where I feel like we're gonna have 2 sets of 3 wide trying to figure out who's taking it.
Oh yeah, and it's to the point now where you can't even say, you know what, I think driver X is gonna win this one.
Yeah.
You know, I personally, I would love to see a guy like Jason Schue, Adam Stewart, John Daniels, one of those guys get the win.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's, you know, first career win. Guys like Schue. Shue's been racing with us for what feels like years, because it has been. Adam Stewart, still a relative new guy to the league. His first full season here. Would love to see him get the win as well.
Yeah. But we know that Daniels is going to want it because he's in 4th, trying to move his way up to 3rd in the standings.
And wins are going to get you a ton of points. Those guys in front of him are going to get last place, or 75% of last place points. But winning is going to really, really decrease that gap.
Yeah.
10.5 laps to go. Ritter's on the inside. DeBarro on the outside. They're pinching each other hard.
I don't know if Shue's having issues. It feels like he's falling behind a little bit.
I wonder if his you know, spidey sense is tingling, saying, "Hey, these guys are getting a little nutty. I might want to back out and try again after the yellow." Because here's DeBarro right on the back bumper of Ritter's. DeBarro looks high. Ritter's is going to stay low. He can't quite cover the outside. Gaston in the wall will stay green.
Just a little love tap.
Ritter's now has help from Jeff Price. They're side by side, 2 by 2 for first through 10th. 180-mile-an-hour pace laps now for these drivers. They're side by side. Here comes Ewing to the inside of Daniels.
Yeah, but he's at the inside now for the first time, and I feel like a long set of laps.
These guys are definitely going to be sitting there cursing their tires, saying they have no grip. But this is when it gets interesting.
Hey, the temperatures went down.
8 more laps to go. The 03 there getting loose. DeBarro goes up behind Price. This is going to get crazy. Side by side. Ritter's to the inside, Price to the outside. Here comes DeBarro. He's going to take a peek to the top. Price goes low to cover. DeBarro, not really a whole lot of help. He's got Cannizzaro and Ewing coming. Looks like Adam Stewart might have snagged the wall a little bit. Ritter's side drafting as hard as he can. Coming through the tri-oval now. 6 laps remaining. Field mostly stacked together. Couple of drivers falling back. Jamar Dumas, that damaged a little too much for his car to handle, so he may be losing the draft.
What's crazy is that this entire race, they've pretty much been at between 30 and 32 second laps. They've really not fallen off on the lap speeds.
And that just goes to show these guys are running all out. There's no fuel saving, no real tire saving. They're just going. As Jeff Price has a pretty good lead. Here comes DeBarro. He's going to think about going to the low side. He does. Price going to try the high side to keep momentum up. Tabarro, not much of a drafting help. They're side by side, 4 to go. Tabarro leads it at the line. Gaston scrapes the wall. We'll keep it here. Price up top, doing his best to get a little bit of side draft going. Can't quite do it. Tabarro's going to clear and slide up. Here comes Price down low for the crossover. Oh, there might have been contact. Now 3 to go.
Speaking of 3 to go, are we about to be 3 wide? No.
Well, they sure thought about it. Ewing and Cannizzaro side by side for 4th. Here comes Ritters.
This is going to be a photo finish.
Do not count that 0-3 car out yet, or, well, anyone else in this top 10.
Yeah.
Top 9 drivers separated by 3/4 of a second. 2 to go in Atlanta. Ritters scrapes the wall, but he's still right there with him. Tabarro up top. There's Price down low.
Whoa!
Oh, they touch. That's going to send Price sideways. But he sticks with it. Oh, Tabarro gets sideways as well.
And was somehow able to recover.
White flag in the air. Who is going to win it? Anthony Tabarro on the point. Jeff Price just behind him. Toby Ritters in 3rd. Here comes Cannizzaro with a head of steam. Can he do something to upset this apple cart? Price has the edge for now. Tabarro up top. More drafting help is going to be to the top, so Price is going to have to squeeze. Tabarro down low. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to get this one? They touch side by side. It's Tabarro.
Man.
Anthony Tabarro is going to win race 1 at Atlanta.
What a close finish.
2/100ths of a second. Wow.
Man. What a race.
That was intense.
Wild. That was a wild. I knew it was going to be a close race. I didn't know it was going to be that close.
Well, let's see here who we can pull in for a quick interview. I'm not seeing Jeff or Toby in the race day chat. Wow, what an absolute finish. And while we do that, let's chat with our race winner, Anthony Tabarro. And well, down here in Victory Lane with Anthony Tabarro. Anthony, congratulations on the win. What was going through your head in those last couple of laps?
Oh, it was tough. I just kind of I wanted to get to the lead and then get on the middle lane because the car was getting super tight, and to clear someone on the bottom was really difficult. And I was able to get clear, and I said, you know what, I'm going to put the car in the center lane, and I was able to just work the runs, and you know, props to Jeff for racing clean there. He could have easily went into 3 and just set me up into the wall, or even come to the start finish. He could have gave me a little paint I was expecting. I had the wheel grip tight, but we got through there, and it was I hope it was a good show for you guys, because it felt like in the car it was actually very difficult, because you had to lift and you know, use brake just to kind of keep the nose planted, or you were going straight into the wall.
Yeah, definitely a very intense one for us to call as well. And Anthony, what are your thoughts looking another race here at Atlanta? I think you can repeat and go 2 for 2.
Yeah, I think we'll see a little different. I was just talking to my teammate. I think I'm going to give my strategy here on the air, but so be it. I think I want to save tire a little more, because we stay packed up. If you stay in the back and just lift on entry and just keep the bottom, and instead of racing, and then you have that, you know, little bit of tire left at the end, is going to make a big difference. So I think, you know, we'll hang out, try to stay out of trouble, and then make a run at it later in the race.
Awesome. We'll get you back there with your dizzy teammates. Good luck for race number 2.
Thank you, guys. Hopefully, I'm talking to you here shortly.
Awesome. Well, that is our winner for tonight, Anthony DeBarro. And Joe, you've met up with our second place finisher, Jeff Price.
Hey, Jeff, congratulations on the number 2. Crazy finish there. What was your mindset going into that?
Man, the whole race, I was just hoping to survive. You know, I don't have luck in any kind of super speedway, so just being able to be up front with some guys who can actually race clean is completely new to me. So, like, it was fun. Like, there was a couple bumps there toward the end, but, you know, it's just trying to get the best line to set it up, and it was a ton of fun, and, you know, I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, it sounds awesome. Hopefully, you'll be back here in the next one, talking to us again.
Absolutely, yeah. Backtown Productions, Pontiac's going to the front again, hopefully.
Well, good luck, and we'll see you back out there.
Awesome, I appreciate it, guys.
All right, that was our second place finisher, Jeff Price. And now joining us here is our third place finisher, doing things a little bit backwards because we have to get ourselves ready to go for race number 2, is our third place finisher, Toby Ritters. Toby, great run. Looks like you really did a good job out front, kind of managing both lines and just kind of managing the draft. What happened there in those last couple of laps?
Well, you know, I think I just I lost a little bit more in my right front than what I wanted to. I was trying to arc my corners late exit to where I could have saved that right front, but yeah, those guys are hard racers, so it was a blast.
Yeah, definitely a ton of fun to watch you guys out there tonight. Just really putting on a show. What do you think your chances are for race number 2 here in this doubleheader?
I might hang back at the beginning just for like I did here at the this race, and I'm going to hang back for a minute and fill out the field, and then I'll decide when I'm going to go up to the front. I believe I could get up to the front, but it's holding that spot is where it's hard.
That is for sure. Well, Toby, there, congratulations, third place finish. Hopefully we get to chat with you a little bit later on in this race.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. God bless you, brother.
Alrighty, that'll do it for our interviews for race number 1. We are going to see some more racing here coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to have race number 2 here at Atlanta momentarily. This is Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. And welcome back to race number 2 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway of the Total Nonstop Racing League. I'm Bob. Joining me as always here in the booth is Joe. And, well, we saw a very, very fun first race. Do you think race number 2 is going to be wilder or a little more calm?
Well, I think it's going to be more wild because now that they are through practice, there's 60 laps, the qualifying, now it's going to be another qualifying. They're going to be really used to the track, I feel. And it's it looks like we have moved on to night. I believe the time in the sim is like 8:15. So the temperatures have come down, so the track's going to be a little bit more sticky. So between the track being happier, these guys having practice, I think it's going to be even more crazy.
That is for sure. Let's take a little chat here with Jason Schue, see what he has to say as we're switching over into qualifying here. But Jason Schue, Bob G, and Joe up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, a first run or first race so far looked pretty good. Led a couple of laps, kind of looked pretty strong out front. What were your thoughts about race 1?
It's a pretty good race. The car gets tighter as you run, and I ended up wearing the right front out a little bit towards the end. That's why I dropped backwards.
And you know, we had noticed Jamar put in the Discord chat his right front was right around 17% tread remaining. I'm sure that didn't exactly help you guys out.
Nah, it didn't. We'll see how this next race goes with 50% fuel load. We gotta make a pit stop.
Yeah, that is definitely going to throw a little wrench into the works. Looks like qualifying's getting underway. We'll get you back there with the rest of the guys. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks.
All right, that's Jason Schue getting ready to run out for race number 2, as we see everyone kind of doing the same thing they did last race, just waiting, looking to see what they can do. There's Danny White.
It looks like Daniels is out there.
Jamar Dumas, everyone else just kind of waiting. There is John Daniels.
So he must have snuck when no one was looking.
Daniels is saying, if you clowns are going to sit there and, just wait down low, I'm just going to go and get my lap in.
Yeah, now they got to go get him.
Daniels out on track. Gaston, Danny White, Shane Ewing, everyone else out there. And Joe, 50% fuel tank tonight, so or for race number 2 rather.
So that changes some things.
Yeah, just a little bit. They're actually going to have to pit, which if they're packed up like that and they pit, make sure you're calling out your pit, because otherwise you are getting ran over and, well, the whole field's probably going to get destroyed as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Daniel's first one to put a time up on the board, a 31.81. Here are the Dizzy Motorsports teammates in DeBarro, our winner of race 1, as well as Shane Ewing. Jamar Dumas there as well, trying to put in some pressure. So 2 minutes and change left here in this qualifying session.
Yeah, so this time around, I'm expecting the laps to be just a teeny bit quicker, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Usually when the sun goes down, the lap times start to pick up a little bit. Little less tire wear, but with how hazy it is right now, we'll see as they're just all gaggled up there. Shane Ewing goes to the top of the board with a 24.47. Look at that pack just in front of them. Absolutely wild if we're not, if they're not picking up any incident points. That's just insane. We'll move Cannizzaro up to P5. Shane Ewing still on the point. John Daniels slips back. Cannizzaro pulls back down off the racetrack as well. Johnny Williams out there on the track. Great to see Johnny racing. Have not seen him yet this season, but great to see him out in the Tabletop Trio chat as well. Let's see what Johnny can do for his first lap.
So this is a question because I have no idea, and I would like to learn, and I'm sure the viewers do too. Does relative humidity have anything to do with NASCAR in terms of like tires or anything like that?
Not necessarily. At least as far as I'm aware.
I'm assuming until it hits 99, then it's a problem, or 100.
Yeah, I mean, I as far as I'm aware, I think really only like Formula One are the kind of cars that really care about humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe altitude, humidity, that kind of stuff, maybe, but
Yeah, I didn't know if there was going to be one of those like high humidity, low temperatures. Is the track going to get like dewy, you know, that kind of thing?
I mean, it very well could. But that is one thing that I've never quite understood myself. So the answer is, I don't know.
Perhaps, maybe. Got it.
Yeah, definitely, maybe. Who knows? John Daniels out there getting ready to wrap up his final lap of qualifying. So far, Shane Ewing on the pole with Anthony DeBarro on his outside. Daniels will not improve. But P4 definitely nothing to sneeze at.
Just as I suspected, looking at the qualifying lap times, mid to low 29s versus last race's low 30s.
Yes. And as you can see here, the sun has gone down even further. Lights are out. Let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's race number 2 of the TNR doubleheader here at Atlanta. Shane Ewing on the pole with a 29.477. Anthony DeBarro on his outside. Jamar Dumas and John Daniels in row number 2. John Cannizzaro and Jonathan Gaston both looking to improve from race number 1 in row 3. Danny White, Jason Schue, row 4. Johnny Williams, great to see Johnny out there in and Jeff Price, row 5. Max Cost and Toby Ritters in row number 6. Row number 7 is Ace House and Garrett Gleason, and Adam Stewart bringing up the back of the field in P15. Well, this is going to get exciting tonight yet again, Joe. Smaller fuel tank. We are going to have to pit, plus tire saving, like we heard DeBarro saying. So this could certainly be a wild second race tonight.
Yeah, this one's going to get interesting.
So the field getting ready. Pace car turns off the banking. We're getting ready to get on the loud pedal yet again. Shane Ewing has control of the field. Green flag in the air. We're rolling here at Atlanta. Everyone minding their business so far. Ewing jumps out ahead, about a car length over Dumas. More cars in the bottom, but they're tightly packed towards the top. Little wall contact with the 3 of Schue, but all is well. Ewing trying to control both lanes, can't quite do it. So he's going to stay there towards the bottom. Daniels all over the back bumper of DeBarro. Giving DeBarro a good shove there out of 2. Down the back straightaway, Anthony DeBarro to the point. We'll move John Daniels in second. DeBarro tries to jump down in front of his teammate. Daniels sticks with him. Now it's just Jonathan Gaston there on the outside.
So as we heard, they were going to... Ooh, a little bit of wall. A couple teams have different mentalities going into this one. They wanted to stick behind. Who wants to play a little bit lower. Now there's going to be a pit involved, which is going to be interesting. Who's going to pit where?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting as the 44 catches the wall. Same with the 3. 27 looks like he's saying, guys, I don't want to be up front. Let me go. So everyone trying to make their way around the 27 of DeBarro. His teammate Shane Ewing has already fallen back. A little bit of a second pack starting to form as well. Doesn't look like that on the track map, but you can kind of see the separation there between DeBarro and Schue. And if I'm someone like DeBarro, I'm saying, all right, you know what? I am more than happy to lead this second group. Maybe I don't want to lead the second group, but I'll be there first. Because if you're leading, you're using way more fuel than anyone else.
Right. Yeah, I wonder what the fuel difference is going to be. They said they can make the whole race last time, and that was at 60 or 65%. And now they have...
it was around 60% or so.
Yeah, so now they have 50. So I'm wondering where that's going to put them. Are we going to see, like, real late pitting? Are we going to see, an early pit to try to, like, just hold them off?
Or, I mean, they could even say, you know what, we're going to pit right at halfway, give us plenty of fuel to the end, get some tires as well. But it's interesting. I want you, our viewers at home, to listen to the engine here as we ride on board with DeBarro. He's not full throttle at all. So he is trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can just to make sure he can go just a couple of laps further than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's he might be trying to do just like no pitting, but if I had to pit, I think I'd probably be aiming towards like the 40 to 45 lap point. If I was able to make the whole race with 60, I could probably get close to it with 50, and I know how beat up my tires were, so I'd want to change my tires like I said, 40, 45 laps in, give me just real nice, fresh tires for the last 15.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you on there. And I think the only downside to that is those 15 laps, you're going to lose time. You're going to lose probably a lap, depending on, speed versus time on pit road, 45 mile an hour pit road speed. 15 laps, that could be difficult to try to get all those laps back and battle for the win.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not the craziest thing I've heard.
Yeah. Well, like you said,
say again.
Like you said, DeBarro and them seem like they are really fuel saving. So I wonder if they are planning to pit at all.
Yeah, I don't really know what the strategy is going to be or what the fuel timing looks like it's going to be either. Because I don't know how many laps they could have made last time.
Yeah.
And with the yellows and all that kind of stuff, that kind of helped them. This 50%, they may have to pit, maybe 45 laps in, but at that point, you kind of have to pit with whoever's around you. And if the guys in front of you are pitting, it looks like you're going to pit too. So half of it is at the mercy of, of pitting with your team. This way you have someone to draft with. The other half is, I don't want to be the last one or the only one to come down pit road. Meanwhile, though, Joe, up front, great battle brewing between, well, half the field at this point. Coast looking to the high side, trying to lead a lap. Jamar Dumas down low. He's got help from Jason Schue. Couple of TNR Wiley veterans down low. Daniels scrapes the wall. Canizaro looks to the inside. They're trying 3 wide. Can't quite get the job done. Canizaro says, well, I'm just going to go down low then. Jeff Price and some of the drivers from the second group are catching the first pack. They're all saying fuel saving, fuel shaving.
Yeah, if we all pit at 30, we could just put our foot down. Let's do that one.
Honestly, that very well could be the case. Jumping on board with the Wild Child. He'll jump to the top side, get behind Daniels. Looks like a 4-car split at the back of the pack. And you can kind of see the gap now on the track map here. So we have our first pack here. Guys like Jamar Dumas, Jason Schue leading the way. Max Cost there. John Daniels, Jonathan Gaston, and company. We have pack number 2, which is Ritters, Ace House, Jeff Price, and Adam Stewart. And then pack number 3 is the rest of the field with the 2 Dizzy Motorsports teammates, Anthony DeBarro and Shane Ewing, as well as Garrett Gleason and Johnny Williams. And right now, if I'm Garrett and Johnny, I'm saying, all right, whatever the Dizzy guys do, we are doing the same exact thing, no questions asked.
Yeah, I think that was oh, what are you guys doing? Yeah, we'll follow you. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that is the smartest thing to do. I mean, both Garrett and Johnny are like sponges, always trying to soak up as much information as they can. And if they're going to sit there and say, you know what, we are going to ride with these guys are proven winners, let's see what they're doing, and let's do the same thing.
But it makes sense.
Meanwhile, out front, that pack is looking a little scary.
It fanned out for a second there.
It did, but only for a second.
Only for a second.
Now they're side by side by side by side. That's one of the best sounds, just hearing the cars fly by like that. It's just, there's something about it that's just so satisfying.
Yeah, I want to make a like a baby. Was it the mobile, the little thing that like spins around?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it spins slow, just still make the noise.
You got to go with the mid 2000s Formula One with the V12 screamers.
Can't hear the baby crying.
That's how you ensure your child is a motorhead growing up.
Is it the baby crying or the V12? We'll never know. I'm not checking.
No, they're just crying because of Ferrari's terrible pit strategy.
Whoa!
Trouble!
He recovered.
Wow. What a save. Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at that one on the replay. Because holy cow, that was
that was an impressive save.
That was dicey. They did everything they could but wreck. Yeah, watch the 63 there in the middle of your screen. He gets a run, had to back up, gets a little contact from the O2, gets in the 3, he's sideways. Everyone able to back it down.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was a little more contact there with the 39 and the 4. They're all able to keep it going.
Wild.
That was a wreck that should have been a wreck for about a lap and a half. But because of that, they've, well, I was going to say they've just about single-filed it out, but
no.
Not anymore. Here comes the crew of Gaston and Dumas working together on the top side.
Ritters is coming right in to fill the spot.
Ritters is there. Canizaro's in there. Ace House is in there as well.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Ace House. Tapping the wall a little bit.
Wall. Well, those guys falling back just a little bit. That might be a good option for them. Looks like DeBarro and Ewing also said, you know what, I guess we should probably get back up with the pack now.
Just a little bit.
Jonathan Gaston leads that lap. And, you know, it's always those moments like these where I'm sitting there saying, man, if I was racing, I'd probably be up front right now. Like, you always have those moments where you're like, man, I wish I was here for this race instead of up in the, you know what I mean? Those little tiny moments where you're just like, I could be leading this thing right now.
Yeah. No, I've literally never thought that, Bob. Not a single time during any of my races in iRacing have I thought, unless every single other person crashed out, have I thought, hey, I think I'm going to win this.
I mean, there's always that opportunity. Especially here at Atlanta, as everyone's getting real dicey now, but more and more some cars starting to move to the bottom lane. And when you see the field kind of move down to the bottom, pit stops could be imminent. We're almost at halfway.
Yeah, we're getting close.
The Dizzy drivers have caught the rest of the pack. Everyone's right there.
I can't imagine them going before the halfway point.
No, me neither. But that being said, depending on how much fuel they have, they may short pit and try to beat everyone else out.
True.
No one pitting this time by. And just as a bit of a note to our viewers, we don't know when they're going to pit. So our guess is just as good as yours and is as good as these guys out there on the track when everyone else is pitting. Gaston might have got out to a little bit too big of a lead. There's going to be a huge run coming. Should be able to block it here. He does, but now here's Daniels. Daniels with a bit of momentum. He's going to peak to the high side.
You know, he only has to defend 3/4 of the field. It's fine.
Yeah, no biggie. They could definitely do that, right? little side drafting action going on from the O2, trying to dump air on the 72. Can't quite do it this time. He's going to push up. Ritters now takes it 3 wide.
Oh boy.
3 wide for the lead. Ritters to the top. They're now 3 for second as Daniels falls back. And oh, look, it's Anthony DeBarro yet again.
Saying hi.
Reminding
everybody. Yeah, reminding everybody. You know, I was here.
Oh, Daniels in the wall again. This is when it gets a little interesting now, especially because pit stops could be coming any minute now. We're coming up to halfway this time by. A little bit of net code there with the O2 in the wall.
Ain't gonna see.
Ritter's thought about it, doesn't. Johnny Williams heads down pit road all by himself. Let's see who pits. Who will be the first to blink?
See, I got to imagine if I'm guessing, I'm gonna be towards the 40 lap because I feel like my tires are okay. Fuel is probably okay for now. I think I'm gonna want to finish that race with a nice fresh set of tires.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think lap 40 might be the magic number here. Oh, Gaston almost gets into Ewing. There are some drivers heading down pit road, though. Jamar Dumas and Coast, these two guys towards the back of the pack. So let's see, is this going to open up the floodgates? Here comes the field out of turn number 3. Let's see, no takers this time by. Cannizzaro heads down. Wow, Cannizzaro all by himself, too. I think some of those guys are going to say, you know what, we need a yellow now at this point. But here comes the field, all single file. They might start being a little scared of who's going to pit when and where. Cannizzaro only 9.6 seconds. So just fuel for the 77.
Interesting.
And I think at this point, you only, for super speedway racing at least, when you pit, you only want to do fuel only. Otherwise, you're on pit road for too long. You lose way too much time. And you kind of take yourself out of it, even if you do need fresh tires. I think if you're taking fuel only, you're going to do right sides because you can do that. But anything longer than just a splash of fuel,
Gotcha.
you're kind of going to be SOL.
Are you allowed to take one tire?
Only 2.
Oh, Jesus, 2 or 4, that's it?
Yeah, it's either right sides or left sides or both. And
Oh.
here comes the field. Oh, trouble!
Oh!
The 03 goes around.
Oh, that wasn't his fault.
He'll
That was
keep
not
it
his fault.
going.
That was Daniels.
Yeah, it looked like Daniels, when they came down, just kind of got into him.
Exactly how you said. Watch out when people are going to pit. And that's exactly what happened.
Let's take a look here to see what happened on the Tabletop Trio replay.
No!
We'll go on board with Ritters.
Are you going to have to...
Oh. Tough break there.
Yep. And then Schue, as we said, he was going into pit, got a little love tap.
Let's take a look here. So here's Schue here in that Dale Earnhardt drive car. And, oh, yep, just a little bit of help from the 39, but able to keep it going. So, as we say that, Shane Ewing was our leader. He's heading down pit road all by himself. DeBarro picks himself up in front of the pack. Biggest loser out of all of that is the 03 of Ritter's. He's back in 12th. He was about 3rd or 4th when they all came down pit road.
Mm. And now the pack is looking a little messy.
Yeah, everyone just kind of all over themselves. The first pack is right here as we follow the 27 at the top of your screen. The second pack with Jeff Price is now in the middle of the back straightaway. And I think if the second pack can work together, they should be able to catch the leaders.
Really?
They have 22 laps. If they can work together, keep it in a straight line, they have more cars, so they're going to have a little bit more of a little bit more momentum. Especially if Adam Stewart can catch back up with this field, they'll have 5 cars. And if they all kind of push and just follow in line behind the 39 and say, you know what, we're not racing yet, they should be able to catch. Because this lap time... not counting the pit stop laps. Well, the front pack that last time by picked up about 2/10 on these guys. From Coast to Price. This time through, they picked up 2/10 from Price to Coast. As now Schue has gassed in their 3 wide here. Here's Adam Stewart trying to take a peek. I think right now, if I'm Stewart, I would probably want to hang out in line with these guys and just help push to catch the leaders.
Yeah. Unless they're hoping for a yellow somewhere.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if we push back to these guys, this little group of 3 with Ritters, White, and Gleason, they're definitely going to want a yellow here. Shane Ewing is 2 laps down. Here's our lead pack. Johnny Williams right on the bumper of the leaders. And Williams, if we get the yellow, Williams will be the lucky dog, so he'll get his lap back automatically.
Yeah.
So far, everyone still on the racetrack.
Which is a welcome
18
turn
to
of
go.
events.
Definitely, especially after the first race with a few wrecks, connection issues, etc. Ace House goes a second lap down. Tough night for him. Right on board here with the O2 of Daniels.
Daniels has got to be feeling pretty good, hoping to stay in this position and take it. As, like we said before, he's currently in the 4th place in the leaderboard, so he'd love a victory.
Yes. And you know, not only that, but after having a pretty disappointing race number 1, where he just kind of got involved in that wreck early, couldn't really hang on there at the end of the race. I think this is his way of kind of saying, look, DeBarro, you already won tonight. It's my turn. Spread the love here, bud. But he's got this guy, Jamar Dumas, to contend with, as well as Max Coast. So there's the leaders. This is pack number 2. And that's pack number 3. That's where all these drivers are currently on the racetrack. So you can see that gap. I personally thought it was going to close a little bit more, but when the leaders kind of swing by, it's like they're playing Snake. They slide by, they pick up the lap car joins their trail. They have more cars, they have more momentum, they go faster. But that being said, Joe, 13 laps to go. They're going to get racy eventually. And if it's not too late, that second pack very well could catch up. But at this rate, I don't see that happening.
It's been like, what, 10 laps-ish? They've gained like 3/4 of a second. So they are gaining, but I don't think it's quick enough for them to catch him.
So we'll see how this one plays out, as it sounded like one car might have scraped the wall a little bit. Shane Ewing joining the fray as well. Now Shane Ewing and Anthony DeBarro are teammates. I don't see any, the way Shane and Anthony are, they aren't going to be ones to pull any funny business or, I'm going to block so my teammate wins and that kind of stuff. However, if I'm Daniels, I'm sitting there saying, oh boy, these guys are teammates. Don't do anything weird here, guys.
Yeah. I think he's, hey, Cost, come up here.
Hey, I could use a little help.
Yeah.
There's more of us than there are of them.
Oh! That might have been, is that a yellow? Jeff Price. I don't know exactly what happened.
All right, let's take a look here on the replay. Looks like Adam Stewart heading down pit road. Oh, looks like there might have been a little bit of contact. Let's see here. Price in the back channel productions machine. Oh, just a little tap between he and Stewart. That contact right there. Oh, Stewart hardened the wall. They're all able to keep it going, so no yellow. Tough break. Stewart down on pit road. Meanwhile, out front, look who's joined the fray. It's Jamar Dumas, just kind of hanging around right there. And I'm sure Jamar is saying, Shane, you're 3 laps down. Get out of there. Let me in. Come on. But man, what a tough break for Adam Stewart. He was having himself one heck of a race.
Yeah.
And just one little slip up puts him out of contention.
Yeah, vehicles going about $160 are very fickle beasts. Oh, sorry, 180.
Just a little arrows slightly important. That is for sure. So next week, TNR takes a trip to Kentucky Speedway, a very interesting racetrack. Little flat in turns 3 and 4, little higher banking in turns 1 and 2. Very unique. You're going to have to really manage your throttle on the exit of 4 especially. You can kind of run a couple of different lines in one. Turn 4 is mostly on the bottom, maybe half a lane up. I think that is going to be it's going to be a challenge for these drivers next week, especially with how much horsepower these Gen 4 machines have.
That makes sense. You said Kentucky and flats, and now I want chicken.
I'm excited. There's a delicious wing place near me that is going to be opening up when I'm ready to move down south. So I will be there far too many times.
They're waiting just for you.
They are. And they're opening a bunch of other like hot chicken places. That's apparently a thing now in South Jersey. So that's going to be another good time.
I'm gonna open a competing cold chicken.
Meanwhile, though, we got 4 laps to go. It's a 3-car race between Jamar Dumas, John Daniels, and Anthony DeBarro.
Who has
Daniels-
managed to catch up.
He has.
Speaking of catching up, looks like he's about to take 3.
There goes Dumas. He gets around Ewing. Ewing, don't forget, is back in 13th place, 3 laps down. I don't expect any help if I'm Dumas. Because Ewing, he's a teammate to DeBarro. He knows, I don't think I'm really going to help him. I'm just going to hang out with the rest of the pack here.
Yeah.
Because you never want to push a competitor to the win against your teammate. But that being said, here comes Dumas. Dumas to the inside of Daniels. He's got some help from Shane Ewing. Here comes Dumas to the inside. Daniels scrapes the wall. This could be it. 2 laps to go at Atlanta.
And just like that, things are going to get very interesting.
Ewing grabs the wall. Little contact there between the 28 and the 02. Dumas falls back. Dumas is going to fall back a little bit more. Here comes Daniels to the look. He's going to look inside. Daniels and DeBarro side by side. Is Daniels going to clear him? No, not quite yet. Here comes DeBarro powering back to the outside. White flag in the air. 1.5 miles left to go in this one. Daniels on the bottom. DeBarro up top.
Oh, this is a close one.
Little side drafting going on in the backstretch. Dumas licking his chops saying, come on, guys, wreck. This is my chance. Here comes Daniels. Daniels, he's going to squeeze up. Is DeBarro going to have the run? Daniels drives down side by side.
I think Ewing's going to give him a push.
It's DeBarro. Anthony DeBarro is going to sweep the doubleheader at Atlanta.
Wow.
What a finish. 2 races in a row. And Joe, this one was all clean, all green.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a finish.
Is wild. You see, we didn't know if Ewing was going to give him anything, but I think towards that end there, he got right up behind him. He was like, here you go, buddy.
Let's see DeBarro burn it down on the front stretch while we get our interviews all sorted out. So there's your winner, Anthony DeBarro. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with our 3rd place finisher, Jamar Dumas.
Hey, Jamar, congratulations on your 3rd place win. It was a well fought. We thought for a second there you were going to sneak in there and take it. How was the race for you?
Yeah, man, a lot better than the first race, that's for sure. I was kind of saving my stuff there at the end. I was thinking I was going to be able to pass them on the inside, but I just kept getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Didn't have anybody to go with me, but it was a good 3rd place run.
Definitely. What was the trickiest part of the track for you?
Oh, just getting tight on the long runs. The more laps that went by, the tighter you got, and it was just tough to manage that.
Gotcha. It was a little crazy to watch. You have any shout outs for us?
Oh yeah, just thanks to all the admins in the league and you guys for announcing for us every Monday night.
No problem. Thank you. Congratulations again, and good luck next week in Kentucky.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher, Jamar Dumas. And joining us here for our second place finisher, driver of the O2 machine, John Daniels. And John, first of all, congrats there on P2. You were really putting some pressure there on DeBarro and just came up, looks like 5/100ths short of the victory. Talk us through those last couple of laps.
Well, it was just once everybody started pitting, I wound up getting stuck with Jason and those guys. So I switched to their Discord and started talking with them, and we started just working and coordinating together. And I know Shane didn't mean to, but we had that unfortunate little tap there, but no harm, no foul, at least to me. But after that was just working him over and trying to set him up, and I blew it too soon and just didn't have anything for him. And at the end,
now, how did the strategy get changed when they added the pit stop in for the second race? A little less fuel in the car. Did it affect the handling at all? Not only that, but the strategy as well.
the car felt much better with less fuel in it, and I didn't even think to look at what my tire wear was, but putting in the pit stop, definitely affected things, but not so horrendously that it can be dealt with. I don't even know where the main pack, quote unquote, finished up, but I know we were ahead of them. And when I switched over to DeBar and them's Discord channel, we were talking about tires and talked about, we were only going to do 2. And I think that's what hung up most of the pack, is the fact that me and him only did 2 tires, and Jamar only took 2, I think, as well. So, but either way.
Huh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about, 2 versus 4 versus none. Looking forward now to next week, racing at Kentucky. I believe it's the current day Kentucky. What are your thoughts about racing there?
Kentucky's been nice to me, despite the few races I've been there. I look forward to it. It's just another 1.5 mile track. I mean, yes, it's got some personality. Turn 3 still doesn't like me to this day, but it's fun. It'll be worth getting out there.
Fair enough. And John, before we let you go, do you have any shout outs for us?
Well, first of all, we got Find, Love, or Die Trying, a visual novel game available on Steam. Rear rim protectors on the side of the car and all that goodness. And next race will be 3 days before my birthday, so I'll turn 26 on October 10th. So next week at Kentucky will be the race before my birthday for this league. So maybe I'll get a birthday present of some kind, like a win.
Well, you know what? I think that'll be the best possible birthday present. Good luck next week at Kentucky, and happy early birthday.
Well, thank y'all very much, and I'll be looking to see y'all there, and hopefully I'll be in here next week.
That is for sure. That is John Daniels, our second place finisher for tonight's race. And Joe, you've made your way down to victory lane. And, we've already talked to this guy once, Anthony DeBarro here in victory lane, Joe.
Indeed. Hey, Anthony, welcome back to the victory interview. This time you get some questions. Congratulations on the podium finish. How was your tire wear / plan race 1 versus race 2?
Well, we had a little different fuel level in that second one, so I kind of just said, I think being it was gonna be nighttime, it was gonna be a little racier. So you saw us hanging out back there a little bit, and then towards when it was halfway, I knew the pit stops were gonna start, so I kind of saved a lot of tire and raced my way up there pretty easily, having the extra grip. And then we were able to get to the front, and I don't know what happened in pit stops. The guys took 4 tires. I threw right sides on it and a can, and it was we came out with 3-4 cars there, and just really great. Like, I'm grateful and lucky that it worked out the way it did, and that it just it fell right into into our hands, and it was pretty difficult for John there to get a run on us and get by us. I didn't want to give up the top. That's why I kind of stayed in the middle there. And we had two photo finishes coming to the line. So I'm really lucky to be able to sweep both these races. That's just incredible. I thought coming into tonight, I'm like, maybe I'll wreck in one and get top 5 in the other. And here we go, sweeping both of them. That's crazy. What a roll we're on. And it just seems like any track, any package, we're just right up there, and we could contend each week.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's always fun watching you guys. How important was drafting for this the race? I know Shane was behind you. He got a lap or two behind, but he was still up with you guys for the finish.
Yes, it was. There was a lot more grip. Like, I don't think the tires wore as much, being the track was cooler. It definitely, I couldn't get away from them, so the draft definitely was a factor. But I think we were going faster in the corners, so it was harder to get runs on guys. If you see what I'm saying, because the lead car has the fresh air, and I didn't have to lift much at all that last run. I kind of was wide open the whole time, so it just shows you in the first race, I don't even think I ever went wide open in the corner.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again. You have any shout outs for us?
Yeah, thank you guys you did double the work tonight. I mean, I know the race was in half, but you'd still had to do 2 sets of interviews and 2 entire races. So thank you for doing the double with us, and Garrett for being different and having a double, and with the fuel in the last race, that was cool, having the strategy, and the drivers for going caution free. That second race is pretty cool at that track. I didn't think we had one caution the whole time tonight. It's pretty impressive. Everyone should pat themselves on the back.
Yeah, it was an awesome race. It was an awesome doubleheader. You were able to pick up the victory both, which is amazing. Congratulations again, and good luck next week in Kentucky.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys then.
All right, that'll do it rather for our interviews here tonight. Doubleheader at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Joe, let's take a look here at the final standings for this one. This was a lot of fun. Anthony Navarro, like we just heard, wins it in 57 1,000ths of a second over the 0-2 of John Daniels. Jamar Dumas comes home in third. Max Coast and Jason Schue make up the top 5. Jonathan Gaston falls back to 6th. Toby Ritter's in 7th. Garrett Gleason comes home with the top 10 in 8th. John Cannizzaro in 9th. Danny White rounds out the top 10. Johnny Williams, welcome back, Johnny. Hope you're doing well and on the mend. He'll finish in 11th. Ace House 12th. Shane Ewing 13th. Adam Stewart 14th. And Jeff Price is going to round out the field in 15th place. Well, Joe, this was a fun one. Looking forward to next week at Kentucky. It's a very unique track. I think it's going to be another good one with high horsepower, not a whole lot of grip, and you really have to play with the throttle on corner exit especially.
Yeah, super excited for it. I may or may not be eating chicken.
Well, on that note, then, that will just about do it for us. Taking a look at the programming schedule for Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern or thereabouts, we have the Speed Xfinity Series. That is going to be a great race. Short track racing at IRP. Wednesday night, right around 8 Eastern, we have the Tabletop Trio Podcast back on as well. As always, you can check out our website, tabletoptrio.com, for a list of events, streams, and a whole lot more. You can also pop out and say hi to us when we go and do a couple different cool events coming up in the next few months. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
This has been the Tabletop Trio Podcast broadcast network of the Total Nonstop Racing League. Have a great night.